Located just a few miles from Bangkok is what's said to be Thailand's toughest penitentiary, Bang Kwang Maximum Security Prison. For the first 3 months of an inmate's sentence, they wear shackles, while the 10% waiting to be executed permanently wear iron shackles welded to their legs. No running water, open toilets and sewer system, 1 meal a day, and terrible overcrowding means disease is as likely to kill you in here as much as the inmates. Not all brutal prisons are found in the more deprived areas of the world. La Santé prison in Paris, France, is said to be one of the most mentally disintegrating places you will find, and has one of the highest inmate suicide rates of any penitentiary. The ways in which the 100-plus prisoners have ended their lives include swallowing rat poison, forks, and even drain cleaner. With its long history of abuse and terrible rat problem, this is one part of Paris tourists don't want to end up in. Said to be the worst prison in America, a place for the worst of the worst, ADX Florence Supermax is where inmates from other US penitentiaries get put, should they continuously attack guards and other prisoners. Those housed here are kept in their cells for 23 hours a day. They have little contact with guards and spend the rest of their natural lives in almost total isolation. Cell fixtures are made from poured concrete. A black and white TV shows only educational and religious programs, and no natural light ever reaches the cells. Living on the streets of Caracas may be dangerous, but you're much likelier to die inside the infamous La Sabaneta prison. This is a place run by the gangs. Repeated sexual assault is part of the culture of fear that is prevalent here, and death is always close. In 2012, an unbelievable 519 prisoners were killed. No medical aid is ever provided. Food is so scarce many inmates kill each other for it, and conditions are so poor that cholera once wiped out 700 prisoners. Built to house 800, Nairobi Prison is one of the most overcrowded in the world. At last count, it held over 3,000 inmates. The problem is so bad that some prisoners have been known to suffocate in their sleep due to so many being packed into one room. The sanitation, hygiene, and general living conditions are deplorable, and if disease doesn't kill you, the beatings and brutality from the guards probably will. Amnesty International once called it the most oppressive prison in the world, and claimed that every action it takes is done solely to torture and dehumanize those within its walls. The prison has no above-ground access, with the only entrance being a small tunnel underground. Guards are known for their cruel behavior towards prisoners, and have been known to cut them with axes, tie them up with rope and drag them to their death, and beat them with metal pipes. All inmates are tied up with heavy chains, and many's only crime was to participate in anti-government protests. Essentially a roofless brick box open to the elements, Gitarama Central Prison in Rwanda houses 4 men per square yard. There are no cells here, and it is so overcrowded that most prisoners are forced to sleep underneath beds, on open floors, or in corridors. Human feces fills the living areas, causing gangrene, which goes untreated. While food is so scarce, prisoners having been known to kill and eat each other just to stay alive. One of the most sadistic prisons ever known, Turkey's Diyarbakir prison has the greatest number of human rights violations per prisoner in the world. Its guards are said to be responsible for the deaths of countless inmates, and their methods of torture includes beatings, burnings with cigarettes, sleep and sensory deprivation, beating the soles of prisoners' feet, forcible extraction of nails and teeth, sexual assault, and violent, invasive examinations. Many prisoners attempt suicide in Diyarbakir rather than endure its regime. Hunger strikes and inmates setting themselves on fire are commonplace. One of the worst aspects of this prison is that it also incarcerates children as young as 13 for lifelong sentences. Although thankfully demolished in 2002, Carandiru prison in Brazil was said to be the most violent and deadly prison ever built. It was responsible for the death of 1,300 prisoners over its 46-year history. The conditions inside this prison were so bad that Amnesty International constantly campaigned to have it closed down. At its peak, Carandiru was the largest prison in South America, holding over 8,000 inmates. In 1992, a riot led to the eventual mass execution of prisoners by military police. 111 inmates lost their lives. Among the numerous problems of brutality, guard violence, sanitary conditions, and gang rule, the sexual assault inside Carandiru was so bad that at one point, 1 in 5 prisoners were diagnosed with AIDS, something which led to its eventual closure. Not so much a prison as a modern-day concentration camp, This enormous compound holds 50,000 inmates, many for no apparent reason. It's claimed 3 generations of any dissident's family, including babies, get imprisoned here, removing their roots entirely. Guards are instructed to regard those inside as slaves and to never treat them as human beings. They are permitted to kill any prisoner at any time, should they see fit. Daily life involves dangerous labor in mines, where many perish. Food consists of 6 ounces of corn a day, meaning many die of malnutrition. Any female prisoners resisting sexual assault by guards are killed. Yet, perhaps the worst aspect of the prison is the Auschwitz-style experimentation on inmates. This including families being killed with anthrax, suffocated by gas, poisoned, or being used as test subjects for bombs. No one ever leaves Camp 22. In 2012, following the defection of the camp warden to China, it was reported 25,000 prisoners died of starvation in a short period. The rest were supposedly moved elsewhere. No one knows where exactly, but some suspect Camp 22 may still be active, just in a new location.